Okay, so most of this is my truck. Most of the videos you'll see of repairs are usually on this beast here. It's Dodge Dakota 2002 4.7 4x4. Yeah, good old Canadian winter. Salt all over it. Alright. Well, I'm headed over to my girlfriend's parents' garage where my tools all are, and we will begin the PCV valve and the throttle body cleaning. Okay, so here we are. We're going to change the PCV valve and clean out the throttle body, and that should do it for this, but I'll show you how to do it. And should improve the performance a bit. I had a little stumble on idle here and there. Tested it just by shaking the steering, like going back and forth with the steering wheel when you're just sitting there, put it in drive, go back and forth one way, the other way. The idle changes, the idle control valve may not be controlling the idle very well, so we'll check that and let's get her done. Okay, so the PCV valve is right there. Right there. You can see. So that's what we're taking out. That valve right there. So we're going to take that out and we're going to replace it with a new one. Yesterday I actually had already replaced that line because the rubber was all cracked, but it goes all the way up underneath all these AC hoses and all these other lines and goes back into the back rear of the head back there. So, I mean, it was a bit of a pain to get it in and out, but we got it. I ended up having to take all this off anyways so I could loosen up those AC lines and move them up a bit. Alright, so we're going to start by just removing that PCV valve. Actually, we got to remove that boot first. Alright, so we removed this hose simply because we got to get at that bolt and that bolt for the TPS, or for the to get to the throttle, and there's a bolt on the other side in the same spot. Right there. So we'll take out those 3 bolts, and actually we only have to remove this one and the one on the other side, and we'll take this top cover off, and then we can get at that hose a little better to grab onto it. Okay, so it's a little bit harder getting a tube off that you can't cut off because it's bad. This one I want to save and reuse, so I removed the air cleaner sitting over there now. It's basically just one bolt right there, and then the rest of it just pulls off of that, and another one down there. So now we have access to this, so we can actually pull on it without just having our fingers touching it. And alright, we'll move on. Alright, so new PCV valve in. Basically just took this hose off, and to take the old one out you basically just rotate it counterclockwise, pull it out. There's a little slot where just a little arm slides through to keep it tight. You can see it actually right there. And then put it back in, put it in clockwise, hook up the hose again, you're good to go for that job. Now we're up here, taking off the top cover, and we're just going to clean out this throttle body with a little throttle body. Alright, so we're just going to use regular old carb cleaner, and basically you just kind of give it a spray, and then shop rag fell. So you give it a spray, and then all you do is just reach in and wipe out all that gunk that's in there. As you can see, tons, and you can open it up a bit. Oh, that's not good, is it? So open it up a bit. Give it a little spray. And again, what you're doing is getting rid of the ridge that can develop and the butterfly here will get stuck on the ridge. If that happens, then you start getting bizarre idles and whatnot, and your intake isn't shutting all the way like it should be. So one thing to note on these ones, some throttle bodies, if you look in the cavity, you'll see a hole where when you're at idle, the air will go through, and your idle air control valve here will control will give it that path for your idle air. So it's a nice constant path of air basically, so you can keep a steady idle. But on this one, you got this lower area for the air to flow through, which means obviously the throttle body is completely closed, as you can see, and then obviously opens. But if you got all that gunk in there and you're sitting there trying to idle, and say if it's open slightly, now you're letting too much air through, so you start getting that rough idle. So it's good to clean it out like we have. And it's starting to snow, so I want to get this patched up, but that's basically how you do it. That's how you clean out your throttle body and change your PCV valve. Alright, so hope you learned something, and we'll find something else to do real soon, and hopefully subscribe. We'll get a couple more videos up, and I just want to keep on doing some work, show you guys how to do it, and we'll just keep on trucking. Alright, till next time. See you later. Alright, as always, let's make sure that she runs. Okay, it'll run, just let's make sure it's good.